Hi guys. Quite often, as consultants and developers, we have a task to update one field from another within the screen. For example, when we change the project code, sometimes we may want to update the other field, let's say customer reference number, based on some information coming from the project code. Let's say in my case I would like to add the customer reference number to be a purchase order number related to my project. So what I did, I added to my project, I added an attribute, a purchase order, and I would like this purchase order to jump into the customer reference number automatically, like it is done here. And my purchase order number is coded as attribute in the project module. So let me show you first the attribute screen where we added this purchase order number. So what I did, I just in the project module I choose the attribute project and I added PO number. It's a tailor-made, it's a customer tailor-made attribute, and then I filled up this attribute for my projects. So when I enter project, the attribute will appear here, and this attribute is purely customizable using the user interface. There is no customization done on the background, so I just put here some PO number, and then this PO number will be associated with the project. In my case, I have some projects already, and some of them they may have this PO number, some of them they may not have this PO number. Currently this project has PO number, and this PO number I would like to appear in this customer reference number field when we bill our customer for this project. So how to do it? First, let's call up the customization. So I just opened the existing customization project, and once I open it, and when I went into design mode, it will appear like with the frames. You know, guys, how to customize the screen, and then right click, and I can go to the add data event. In my case, I would need to add a data event for this field, and in my case I would like the other fields to get updated as long as I updated the project ID. So my event should be based on this table name, which is AR invoice. I'm sitting at the invoice, but the event should be a field updated. So if I choose the field updated, and system will look into which field. In my case, it's a project ID field. So when project ID field get updated, we would like to modify something and update the other field. So basically we need to add the event handler into our customization code. So once I click OK, a system will add the handler. In my case, the handler already existing because I have customized this project earlier. In your case, it will just open you a code page with this event. Let me open this code page for you. Here you can see this code page, and specifically a system have added project ID field updated part into my custom code, and it can be more than one field code. And then the system have added some fields automatically, like this, for example, and this field and this row have been added automatically. So system expects us to change the value of this field. So what I do next, I'm setting some variables and constants that I'm going to use within my development a project. I have added here some strings. I will explain later what I have been added it for. The most important thing, when I entered the project code into my field in the screen, in this field, when I entered the project code, system will need to get back to the project table or data access class behind the project and retrieve the attributes of this project. And the problem is, because we are retrieving the we are retrieving fields that are stored not in the main project table but in a so-called CS answers table, which represent the attributes. We will have to do it in 2 steps. So first, I'm retrieving the project from the project table. I'm retrieving the record with my project. So how do I do it? I'm using this statement. I'm declaring the variable PM of the type PM project. The PM project is a data access class it's a standard data access class representing the project, and I'm using the PX select statement, which is the selector basically from this table PM project. I'm putting here the where clause. This where clause I took from a standard code within a project maintenance screen. So it's just retrieving the project with the base type equal the project base type, and then this non-project should be false, just to reduce the possible invalid outcome from this select statement. And well, that it should not be a template. The project template should not equal true. And the most important thing, that the PM project contract ID, which is actually my project ID code, should equal to the project ID retrieved from the current AR invoice row. And this project ID is not representing me the project visible code. It's just just representing the ID which sits behind in the table. It's just our the integer by which the project is linked. So I'm retrieving the project by ID, and then at the end of this select there is a select single bond statement, and that's why I'm using here the current type of parameter and retrieving it from AR invoice from the current AR invoice row. And don't forget, we are sitting on the invoice screen and we are retrieving from the current invoice AR invoice table row, which is just here. Let me go back to the code. So if this retrieved project is not null, I'm going further down and retrieving the attributes, which is stored in the table CS answers. And this table CS answers, how I'm retrieving it? I'm using the result set class and just retrieving using the join select. I'm joining CS answers with CS attribute by attribute ID and by entity type, and then I'm providing here the parameter for entity type, for attribute ID, and for entity ID. These parameters, entity type, attribute, and entity ID, are listed here at the end of the select clause. Entity type in my case will be always PR, and the attribute will be always PO number. How do I know it? I just opened the SQL query analyzer and retrieved from CS answers. I retrieved all possible records, and I can see here there is my attribute PO number, and entity type is always PR, which is representing that it's a project, and this PO number is coming from attributes from here. So this purchase order 1 is actually the attribute representing the PO number attribute ID. So this is basically PO number here, and this is the value from that data access class that I'm going to put back into my screen in the next field. So here the entity type is a constant, PR, the attribute is also constant, it's PO number, and the only variable that I'm passing into the select is the contract ID from my project. Contract ID and project ID is the same, so I'm just passing the project ID, which is in my SQL statement this field, entity ID. This is the project ID that I'm passing, and at the end a CS answer will give me back the attribute. And because I'm using px result set class, I need to format it to a CS answer class. So I'm doing it here. I'm declaring the ANS variable, and then I'm just passing the value to this variable. And if the value is not null, which the value in this case is the attribute, if the PO number related to my project is not null, then it was to update the other field. And then I'm updating the other field here. I'm using a standard cache statement to make a copy of this row, and then I'm using the AR invoice, the current line. I'm creating a copy of this current line, and then I'm updating the invoice number, which is actually my customer reference number. The field behind it, you can get it from attributes, it's called invoice number. So I'm just updating this field here in the code. It's invoice number. I'm updating it with my value. You can see here some debug statements that I left commented. I mean, you may find it easier to debug your code putting the statements. And then once the value is updated, I'm just sending the update command to put this line back into screen. So this way we can call from a certain event, for example updated event for the control, we can call the external data, and then we can evaluate this data and pass it to another field on our screen, on our form. Thank you for watching, and see details in my blog. I will post all the code samples into my blog article. Thank you.